Tyres are among the largest and most problematic sources of waste. Today, over 1 billion tyres are produced annually in over 400 tyre factories. Tyre stockpiles create a great health and safety risk. Tyre fires can occur easily, burning for months, creating pollution in the air and the ground. We know all this. We are the ones driving the cars after all, and we are certainly part of this. But let's not remind ourselves of the problems. Instead, we can think about solutions. These tyres are just one example of how we don't really know what to do with the byproducts of today's society, let alone the fact that recycling doesn't even cross some of our minds. Let's try to look at these tyres not as a waste, but rather as a resource that we humans produce. The same way a bee produces honey, we humans produce these tyres. They are just waiting to be used, rather than waiting to be illegally burned. Therefore, we are really looking at a mine containing a new resource. So it is no longer a tyre dump. The following is a group of people that has found a very good use for these tyres, and this is just one of the many problems they have found a solution for. So let's meet them.
Especially on the second one, you don't want it to blow out. Never want it to blow out.
This is tyre pounding. You start by placing cardboard inside the tyre, then you fill it up with dirt, and you pound it until the tyre bulges.
Hand packs over here. Right, yeah. In the house. You're working on that, right? Gravel and dirt. You and I? You got lots of trucks coming, right? All right, so let's just dump this one here. I did a test dig out here. And you can go down 30. And we can get 30 from sub, right in the middle. What are you, an intern or what? You know what you're doing? Just all right. And I'm going to tell you everything that I'm thinking. Okay. So you can help me think. All right. Okay. Definitely. Okay. All right. All right. Right on. I got to find a sledgehammer.
Optical levelling. This is performed to define the height differences on ground elevation. To do this, you need a dumpy level on a tripod that gives you a perfect straight line into the distance, to then mark on a levelling rod the height differences. Spirit levelling. This is performed using a spirit or tube level on the already packed tyres to ensure a straight line as every row progresses.
Drop. Pay attention. If you understand, you're seeing something, you're curious about it, just pay attention to it. You can ask about it, but you need bodies, and that's the importance of having the interns. And then I think it's important that you guys understand this. All right, anything else? Okay, good. Thanks, Mike. Manana.
This cistern can hold 1,700 gallons of water. There are 3 more on their way, so the total amount of water held will be 6,800 gallons. This particular one is made out of plastic, which is durable and resistant to rust and chemicals.
t-shirts?
Yeah.
That's the best gift ever.
So we can like have. Woo! And so you just have to come over and choose your size, and then. Can you try Lars? Keep it on. Medium? Oh.
Sorry. I'll take a large.
Thank you.
Earthship Biotecture was founded by Michael Reynolds in the early 1970s. Throughout his 40-year career, Michael has built up a team who've developed 3 sustainable housing communities in Taos, New Mexico. At present, the Earthship Biotecture team travel the world building Earthships for people, while also working on developing their communities and concepts back home. Patricio Sorrentino heard about Earthships in 2008. He flew immediately to Taos to meet with Michael.
Michael and I decided that we first wanted a prototype that could show people what Earthships are really about, because that's something that I came across throughout this time, that is very hard for people to realize the real essence of an Earthship without being inside one and without seeing it and living it and actually experiencing the functionality of an Earthship. But then we also had to form a team, because the way it worked out for us is that we were going to stage half of the project and Mike was going to do the other half. We wanted to learn about the project and we wanted to learn the whole process so we could eventually start replicating Earthships around Baja and in Mexico. We had to go and look for the tires. We had to go and look for the glass bottles. We had to go and look for the cans and then the cardboard from the fruit stores. Getting rid of so much stuff that was going to be burned or thrown away or end up in the rivers, in the sea, and seeing all those materials transformed and become an Earthship. I think that's one of the parts I really enjoy the most. We were grabbing the tires and everyone was like, oh, so what are you going to do with tires? And we were saying, we're going to build a house out of tires. And they were, nah, really, you're going to build a house out of tires? There's so many tires here, you can build so many houses. And I guess the reply was like, yeah, that's what we want to do. So there is a lot of materials that people throw away, that we throw away. We think they don't have any value. But Earthships take advantage of that situation and they transform it into something beautiful.
Ha sido algo muy sencillo, ¿no? Como que ha sido algo muy natural y ha sido algo que ha ido fluyendo muy naturalmente. O sea, no ha sido algo como que forzado en ninguna manera. Al ser hermanos, como que es como muy cómodo, es muy bonito y es muy natural empezar cosas juntos, ¿no? Porque al final del día venimos del mismo lugar y como que somos como muy... nos hemos vuelto cada vez más unidos. Todo empezó de algo como una semillita, como que plantaron la semilla en mi cabeza de algo y nos determinamos y lo estamos logrando, ya sabes. Y como que me siento súper afortunada de poder ser parte de esto, de todas las personas que pudo haber invitado a acompañarlo en este camino fue a mí, y que esto también se ha vuelto algo muy para mí, ya sabes, como algo muy mío, como algo muy... que me nace mucho hacer, que me gusta mucho hacer, que me ha hecho entender muchas cosas de la vida y de mí, del ser humano y de la naturaleza, y de que al final del día somos todos uno mismo. Me explico, que no es como que nosotros, nuestra labor en la vida no es cuidar a la naturaleza, es simplemente entender que somos parte de ella, o sea, que somos un ser más dentro de la cadena alimenticia. Esto es más que un Earthship. O sea, un Earthship es un principio, es como una manera de vivir, ¿no? Y como que cambia un poquito el concepto de tu vida de que tú tienes que trabajar para vivir y no trabajar en tu vivir. O sea, sí te puedes sostener a ti mismo, puedes crear tu propio alimento, puedes crear tu propia agua, tu propia energía, etcétera. No necesitas el dinero para comprar todas esas cosas, ¿no?
And then at that point in time, I've also opens up like a bunch of work for interns to pre-cut all the lengths to the rebar grids that go in the footing. And then while they're doing that, to cut and bend the steel that comes from the bomb beam down in. And just pre-cut all the steel all together.
Pre-made frames. These door and window frames were built in Taos, New Mexico by the Earthship biotecture team. Then they were shipped to Todos Santos before the build began.
Thank you very much. It's always been very good.
I've been cooking all night, you know. At least you can tell me if you like it.
And then there's 3 downs instead of 4. Right. Yeah. And you can run. You can be running towards line. Can walls. Cans are used to build some of the walls. They help fill up the mass and reduce the amount of cement needed. They are easy to lay, easy to learn, and of course, by using them, we are recycling garbage. Did you say what I think you just said? I did.
They're not even like correct. I mean, they're level to each other, but the ones underneath are not leveled correctly either.
Glass bricks. To make these, you need 2 bottles of the same kind. Then you cut them with a cutting disc, wash them, and once fully dry, you join them with duct tape to make sure they are well insulated from moisture. The Earthship's Mexico team prepared over 7,000 glass bricks before the Taos crew arrived.
This one?
No, yeah. There you go. A little more. That's good. That's pretty close. That's good enough. Brian. I'll take some. Celia. Pour the bond beam and put the plate on.
Is that Monday?
And put these window boxes up and put the beam on. Get ready for the beam.
This box in my pants, and then box.
I love what I write.
He wants to do ecological development of some kind, and looked on the web, found our site, came to see us, and wanted to do it. We have our community there has a lot of demonstration buildings, and people can come and really see what it is, and he liked it. He wants to get into this and do this the same way we do, with our help, and he wants his 3 boys to grow up doing it. And so it's a good, the overall take on the whole project has got good motives, you know, all the way through, and that's how we kind of select what to do. It's a lot like we're your guides and your Sherpas, and you're climbing Everest. You know, that's kind of the way we set it up. It's not, if somebody wants a home or a house, they have to realize that this is a little bit more than a home or a house. These buildings do everything for themselves, and the way they do everything for themselves is not with poles and pipelines and centralized systems. It's a decentralized approach. Each building is a living, breathing cell that is getting everything that its inhabitants need from an encounter with the natural phenomena of the planet, like the sun, like the rain, like the gravity, like the wind, the condensation, the convection. All of the natural phenomena of the planet are studied and observed and built into these buildings so that they, through encounter with the natural phenomena, become a living, breathing organism that takes care of people and doesn't need fossil fuel. This is a machine. Like you go to the Ford Motor Company and you buy a Ford, you don't tell them, I want a Ford that's 2-story and has, you know, 8 wheels and whatever. You say, you pick from 3 or 4 choices, and they are the people that design the automobile that goes down the road. That's what these things have to be like for people to even be able to deal with them.
That's okay. We'll just bang all those out.
Thanks for your help. We're gonna have to let you go now.
We'll get you on camera doing that?
Yeah, right on.
So, yeah, these aren't grab too much. Shoot at an angle like that, but I would do it single fire.
Oh, you got it.
And that doesn't come through.
Porcupining. Before you add supporting cement, you need a bunch of nails around the tyre so that when the cement is added, it has something to stick to.
super happy, super happy.
I'll be happy when the Vigas
The
get
Vigas get here. But we're getting the Vigas.
Trizio keeps promising Vigas, but so far no scene on the Vigas.
No Vigas, no happy, yeah? We're getting the Vigas.
Adjust it.
Let's just see what happens. Watch out, bitch. Everybody move. I can shoot this with long. Long? That's it. Down. Watch it. Down slow. Like that. Hold it there, hold it there. Come on.
Here's what we need. Somebody needs to go and cut. Mateo, you're good on the saw. We need to cut some 2x4s that are 8 inches long. A bunch of them.
I went to school with Mike's son, Jonah Reynolds, and it was about a year after high school was finished, and we were just hanging out, sitting by the pool over at his mom's house, and he's like, "You want to go to Taos for about 6 or 7 months and check it out?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" You know, never been. You know, go for the summer, and been there ever since. Never looked back.
This one just connects, it has a pipe going horizontal, it connects to the next cell that's going that way. This is the last cell where the water gathers.
synchronizing module. This module has everything you need to manage and distribute your captured energy efficiently for all house appliances and utilities.
In 1992, I graduated from architecture school and then didn't really want to go work in an office, so wanted some personal freedom and whatnot. And so moved to Taos and, you know, with a couple $100 and a crappy car, and then hiked up to the mountain community, which was the first Earthship community reach. And found one of the foremen then and talked to him and just got hired on, started mixing concrete. A year and a half or so later, I decided I should build my own house because paying rent is ridiculous, and it took me 5 years after work to build. And so then I was really sort of in deep by the end of that. And now I got all these skills I can't do anything else with.
Planter cells. These botanical cells filter grey water while acting as a watering system for a fruit, vegetable and herb garden. Since it is inside the Earthship and orientated to have sunlight, there's food production year-round. Also, outside planter cells use treated black water for landscaping plants.
Because then there'll be more beer for us.
Yeah. Yeah. Get them all. Oh, you can distract them all, herd them away.
Yeah.
Beers. Give us some sport then.
So what you can see now, for anybody that wasn't downstairs, the systems package was installed, parts of it, and all the piping. I don't want to go inside because the planter's been dug over there and we don't want to collapse into the planter. So anyway, Amsey and the crew got the systems, electricity, water lines running.
I ended up building airships. Actually, by chance, I met a girl in Arizona when I was hitchhiking around, and I came to this place in New Mexico to help her build a straw bale home, and did some of that, and then I spent my whole bank account. You know how it happens with girls. She's gone now. But then I actually ran into them by chance just looking for a job and went out to the community and checked it out, volunteered for a day, and got a job. It was crazy. I was working with all these rainbows. There was a midget on the crew, and I had to lift him up and down off of things. It was pretty wild. But so I've just, and then I bought some land. It was kind of a deal I couldn't refuse because it was so cheap at the time, and started building my own home, and so it just went like that, learning skills to use on my own house and having money coming in at the same time and living outside. So it just kind of evolved. Now it's just my life. That's what I do. This one ready, B? Ready for it? Before Earthships, I was in high school and my brother and I had taken about a year off to decide what we wanted to do for school after high school, and
Mike's son, Jonah, asked us if we wanted to go to Taos and build Earthships for his dad, and so we did.
Pues yo creo que va a ser un cambio que para ellos no les, o sea, no estoy preocupada porque les cueste trabajo. Yo creo que los niños se adaptan a todo y esto es algo completamente diferente y nuevo y bueno, creo que les vamos a, gracias a Patricio, les vamos a transmitir valores que los van a hacer mejores personas.
Venimos para ver la casa. Para ver la casa. Es que le jalamos el dedo y se echa puras. ¿Verdad? Así. Ahí. ¡Ah! ¡Pum!
Hey, you're not you.
Batteries. The energy generated by the solar panels can be used while it's being produced. To have energy during the night and when weather conditions are not optimal, we need to store that energy in batteries.
So I waited a lot of tables, managed a couple of restaurants, a couple of other things, bartending, like spot catering jobs and stuff, but always just running my ass off. And sometimes I would work like 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, and still never had enough money to actually live. It was really, really exhausting. And I didn't want to do that anymore. And so my ex-boyfriend's stepdad actually bought a home in the Greater World Earthship community. And he said, you guys have got to check this out. You got to see this sweet thing that we're doing. And so he paid for us to get a van, and me and my boyfriend and his sister and her boyfriend and a bunch of other people all got in a van from Oklahoma City and drove to Taos to check out these Earthships. We walked in and we were like, you got to be kidding me. This place is amazing. I watched one DVD video from like 15 years ago, and I was convinced. So we picked up and we moved from Oklahoma with $200 and our dog. We moved to Taos.
was kind of an accident more than anything. I bought an Earthship, and I had no idea what I bought, and wanted to know how it was built, so I asked Mike Reynolds if I could volunteer. He said, sure, you can volunteer, and little did I know that he had many people volunteering to build the houses. So yeah, I worked for him for 6 months volunteering, and then he hired me last year full-time.
Solar panel. This solar panel is the first one out of 6. Each one can generate 200 watts, so altogether this Earthship will be able to cleanly generate 1,200 watts of power without burning fossil fuels. Water heating panel. This panel captures sunlight in the form of heat, accumulating it. When water passes through a pipe made out of a metal conductor, the heat is transmitted to the water.
My hand down?
If you got one.
Yeah. See, you know her, you know me.
Hey, if we flip it up again, we can get it.
Right there.
Septic tank. A septic tank separates solids from liquids and uses anaerobic digestion by bacteria to treat the black water. By insulating it and adding heat, the process is accelerated.
July of '08, I went to Bonaire, and I had been looking at Earthships for like, I don't know, 2 years before that. And so when I came out and did the internship, I fell in love with it and went back home and told everybody this is what I wanted to do. And I had a business back home, so I got rid of that, and 5 months later, I ended up in Jamaica working with these guys.
Yeah, I never really heard of Earthships until Jimmy mentioned it to me. And then I drove him out to Taos in March of '09, and the first day that I was out there, Mike's carpenter was away doing something, so he asked me to do something for him, and I did. And I guess he was impressed with it or excited with it, so he asked me to stay an extra week, because I only planned to volunteer 1 week, and so I did. And on the second week, he asked me to come back. So I did. Went home, sold my house, sold everything I had, and here I am.
Yeah. It might be a common story to some degree.
Being a complete package, I hadn't seen that before. As soon as I saw that, it was pretty much over. As long as I decided to make a trip to Taos and said if they can do what they say they can do, that's we're on. It's game over. Let's go.
Estaba viajando solo, bajaba de Tijuana y ya conocí a Kat y ella me contó el proyecto de acá, pero no me dijo cuánta gente había y me dijo que venía al día siguiente para ver lo que estaban haciendo Y ya vine y vi a todo el mundo acá. Me imaginaba como 5 personas, igual 10, y luego ya vi como 60, 70 personas y fue como, ¡hala! Estuvo muy bien, me gustó y ya pues vi que había buen ambiente, pregunté si me podía quedar, me dijeron que sí.
I'm very into graphic design and art and painting, but I also started to have a love for sustainability, and I know I want to live, a sustainable lifestyle, so I wanted to learn about it.
I saw a TV show about Earthships about maybe 2 years ago, and I was like, that's cool, being able to grow inside your house, year-round. That appealed to me also, and just the being off the grid, so to speak, not having to depend on anyone for your life and your lifestyle.
We're here at the end of a long year, and we've spent the last year building the foundations of a nonprofit organization that wants to see homes like these built in large numbers in severely impoverished communities. We spent the last 7 months building a 500 square foot structure of our own, and now we're here to learn from the experts, learn from the people who know exactly what they're doing.
Yo vengo de la Ciudad de México representando una empresa y soy electricista. Venimos aquí a ver cómo trabajan los americanos y cómo hacen esta casa para nosotros poder hacer otra similar o igual a estas casas.
I am my girlfriend and we are traveling for 3 months, and we wanted to volunteer as well. So this is one of the places where we volunteer.
Ana es mi amiga desde hace 4 años y me contó que iba a un proyecto de una casa ecológica. Yo no le entendí mucho al principio, pero me estaba diciendo que iba a hacerlo con materiales reciclados y ya renuncié a mi trabajo. Vine desde enero pues a ver cómo resulta esto y pues me está gustando mucho, se está cambiando mi vida.
Just got the tail end of an excerpt with Michael Reynolds, he was talking about their build in Montana, and that inspired me because I've been looking for a direction towards that avenue, and I pursued it and looked it up online and liked what I saw.
I've always wanted to do something to make a difference, and I was trying to figure out what that was exactly. And I found an orphanage in Nepal. So that was 3 years ago. I made them a promise to help them get out of the situation that they're in. And so since that day, I've just been doing everything I can to keep that promise. Basically, where they're at now, they have to pay someone rent for where they're staying, and they have no funds for food and everything. So if I can build a place for them that is sustainable, then they won't need any outside help anymore. And that's what led me to here.
Energy. Photovoltaic cells are made from materials called semiconductors, mostly using silicon. Phosphorus atoms bond with the silicon ones, leaving one electron not bonded, resulting in negative silicon because of the prevalence of free electrons. On the other side of the solar cell, boron is added. Atoms also bond, but in this case one free opening is available for an electron, creating positive silicon. When these two sides are put together, a mad rush of electrons flow to the positive side. Eventually, equilibrium is reached and an electric field is created. This conducts electric current in only one direction. When light in the form of photons hits the solar cell, it excites the electrons, and the field sends the electrons to the negative side. The metal contacts on the top and bottom of the cell draw current off, streaming towards another cell, and so forth, creating a module or group of cells. When packaged into a frame, a solar panel is created. This will provide electricity cleanly and quietly for the next 30 years. As air particles collide against an object, each of them pushes with an amount of energy. The wind blades capture wind energy and start moving. They spin a shaft that leads from the rotor to a generator where magnets spin. If you have a conductor that surrounds those magnets, voltage is induced. Then it drives electrical current out through the power lines. At its essence, generating electricity from the wind or sun is all about transferring clean energy from one medium to another. The power generated by our sources goes to the power organizing module. This distributes energy to the batteries. When fully charged, it stops charging and sends the current for household usage. It also prevents overdraining of the batteries, making them last much longer.
La información ahí está. La tecnología ahí está. La gente que quiere ayudar ahí está. ¿Qué falta? Que agarren ustedes y se pongan a hacer vivienda inteligente, vivienda natural. Tienes que agarrar y lanzarte a hacer como puedas, vivienda sustentable.
Propagar la independencia, ¿no? O sea, gente que no se tenga que endeudar para tener una casa, que no se tenga que matar trabajando para pagar sus materiales, cuando ya están ahí los materiales, ¿me entiendes? Encontrar una manera inteligente de lidiar con la basura que ya existe, irnos comiendo los basureros hasta crear áreas verdes, ¿me entiendes? Como que purificarnos poco a poco, ese es el plan.
Water capture. Clouds move around the world propelled by air currents. For instance, when they rise over mountain ranges, they cool, becoming so saturated with water that water begins to fall as rain, snow, or hail, depending on the temperature of the surrounding air. Water from clouds is captured by the roof and channeled to gravel filters and silt catchers, so when it reaches your cisterns, it's clean. The water from the cisterns is then gravity-fed into a water organizing module that pumps and filters water into a pressure tank for consumption and house usage. Sewage. Every time we wash something or flush the toilet, we create wastewater. Wastewater from sinks, showers, baths, kitchens and washing machines is called grey water. Usually grey water will contain household chemicals like soap and detergents, and easily degradable organic materials like fat and oil. Consequently, grey water is channeled through a filter or digester for grease and particles, then sent into an indoor deep rubber-lined botanical cell. A botanical cell is a built soil ecosystem that consists of various soil layers. The first layer, composed of gravel, to allow water to flow and provide good aeration or oxygenation, preventing nasty smells. At the top of the botanical cell, plants absorb water by the process of transpiration, where evaporation from the leaves enable water to be absorbed through the roots. Nearby root soil dries out. The water at the bottom slowly flows towards the drier soil near the plants. The flow allows phosphates and household chemicals to be completely filtered. The peat moss provides additional filtering, efficiently eliminating heavy metals, if any. At the end of the botanical cell, there is a grey water organizing module which pumps the treated water to the toilets. Once the toilets are flushed, water now contains fecal coliforms and loads of organic materials. This is called black water, which goes to the septic tank. After the liquids are separated from the solids, the treated water is then channeled to an exterior landscaping botanical cell, feeding outdoor plants in the same manner as the grey water botanical cell. In short, Earthships make very efficient use of the captured water by using it 4 times. First, you use it to wash, then to water your indoor garden. then to flush the toilet, then to water your landscaped garden.
I'm looking out there, even 3 decades ago, and saying, this is bullshit, this isn't gonna last, this isn't gonna work. It's really just figuring how to take care of my own ass so that I wouldn't be dependent on all these flailing political and economic and fossil fuel bullshit scenarios. And so I figured out how to take care of my own ass. And it was so fucking outrageous and free that I thought, shit, a lot of other people would really be happy doing this, I'm sure. So that's what made me say, well, then let me at least show it to them. I don't want to cram it down their throat. I don't want to try and make them want to do it. I just want to show them, look, this is killer.
None of us are getting rich doing this, but it is enriching to do it.
I love it. I love what we're doing. You get a nice sense of self-satisfaction at the end of the day when you can stand back and see what you did and know that you did something that was helping and not hurting. You did it for a reason.
I get to turn a lot of people on to something really cool that I really believe in and have a blast doing.
That's what keeps me going. Just I like it. I'm enjoying myself, you know. Coming to work, I'm having a good time. And doing the right thing for the environment and the world at the same time. It's like it's your cake and you're eating it too.
Yeah, I enjoy my life. It's pretty fun, pretty wild. I get to meet all kinds of crazy people and build wicked cool buildings all over the place. So
we move pretty well together. You know, it's pretty good flow.
We're just doing what is in our hearts, what we believe in, and it speaks for us. And we don't have any intention of ever stopping.
Food production. To survive, grow and reproduce, plants need water, sunlight, carbon dioxide, oxygen, and nutrients like phosphorus and nitrogen. All of these are found inside the Earthship, allowing many edible plant options to grow in your botanical cell. In short, Earthships can grow food year-round by providing sunlight all year, protection for the plants from extreme conditions like frost, an automatic watering system, a good soil composition, and nutrients from grey water like nitrogen and phosphorus. At the end, Earthships are structures that are built using recycled materials, take advantage of natural phenomena, produce goods, and use technology, creating beneficial contributions to environmental issues like the following. 1. Energy consumption. Fossil fuels supply around 90% of the world's commercial energy. This has to stop soon. Earthships reduce energy needs to a minimum by not needing central heating and air conditioning. By generating their own clean energy, they contribute to minimize global warming. 2. Water consumption. The water you normally get from the grid is pumped from lakes, rivers, and underground water, often traveling long distances for human usage, consuming a lot of energy. United Nations has pointed out that by the year 2025, 50% of the global population will have water scarcity problems. With Earthships, you harvest your own water, so it's a safe net, plus you help our planet by reducing global warming and water scarcity. 3. Sewage. The sewage systems around the world are inefficient. Normally we don't separate grey from black water, and in most places there aren't any water treatment plants, so it goes directly to rivers, lakes and the sea. Earthships use water in such a manner that there is no actual discharge. Your wastewater will never leave your property, meaning you do not pollute nearby rivers, lakes or the sea. 4. Food consumption. Global agriculture uses 60% of the total fresh water in the world. Food production today has to be technified to meet the large demand, resulting in burning fossil fuels, using chemical nutrients and pesticides, therefore emitting greenhouse gases, polluting soil, water and the product itself. Moreover, food is regulated by the economic market, making you vulnerable to shifts in prices and availability. Earthships produce food year-round, reducing expenses in family economy, health risks associated to pesticides and contaminants where food is grown, CO2 emissions by less fuel consumption, for example transportation for food imports, and water consumption for food production. 5. Wastes. Everything we consume is a potential waste, because nothing is useful forever. Some materials no longer used don't degrade, occupying space and contaminating in several ways. In the year 2000, the US, for example, generated 320,820,972.84 tons of waste from households, gardens, parks, as well as commercial and institutional entities. Earthships use materials like tyres that otherwise would have little or no use at all. So, in conclusion, Earthships help our economy and are beneficial for local, regional and global environmental problems. If you get involved and spread the word, you can really make a change.
Get educated, start looking around, start seeing where change can be made very easily and very simply in your own life. You don't have to change anybody else's life if you just start changing your own. Lead by example.
Basically, it's time to make some changes, people, you know. I mean, this isn't the only solution. You know, building Earthships isn't the end-all, the do-all, or the be-all, but it's a good start, you know.
Learn how to hold your own. Learn how to live off the land.
If you don't like something, change it. Change yourself. Yeah, don't wait for others to change things around you. Just do it yourself.
Find something you really like to do, you truly like to do, and stick to it, you know. Don't feed into and buy into the I gotta do this because the money's good type of thing. Money isn't the, you know, you can't take it with you. It's not the only thing. What really matters is that you enjoy what you do and you feel good about what you've done at the end of every day. And you go home feeling good and wake up the next day feeling good, and that's what you should do.
I think any person in this world has the ability to have and do whatever they want, whatever they really want with their heart. If they do whatever they can to get it, you know, and it'll happen, no matter what it is.
Sean independientes. Seamos independientes. y seamos libres y seamos inteligentes y entendamos nuestra capacidad de actuar y nuestra capacidad de hacer cosas grandes.
This is about what really matters in life. Truth, love, freedom. This is about life itself. This project changed me, and I'm glad it did, because I know that my family now point towards a better path. I hope this road leads us to a better understanding, to more responsibility, because it's time for me to start finding answers. I'm a father now. I have 3 children, and I think, what is it that I really want my children to learn from me, from their old man? It's respect for themselves and for nature, but most importantly, it's survival. They have to think for themselves. This is my greatest wish. But they must think of themselves as part of a greater system, the system of nature. We may think that we owe what we have to money or power, but the truth is we don't. If we don't have nature, we don't have life. And I'm part of the establishment, I admit it. But the change has to come from within the establishment. So all I'm really trying to do is follow a group of people that have started working towards making things better.